Do we need to do introductions? Would probably be beneficial since it's been a while since we've been together. I'm Tracy Mulcahy. I am the chair somehow, and I'm with the City of North Liberty.
I am John Gehring, Iowa County Board of Supervisors.
Megan Foster, Mayor of Coralville.
I'm Wayne Peterson, a new commissioner for the Johnson Soil and Water Conservation District.
I'm Stuart Moss, Iowa County Commissioner.
I'm Ben Clark, City of Iowa City.
Would the audience like to introduce themselves as well?
Absolutely.
And John?
You want to start, John?
I'll start, yeah. John Rathman, Clear Creek Watershed Coordinator.
I am Valerie Decker. I'm with the University of Iowa Center for Evaluation and Assessment. I work on the Iowa Watershed Approach Grant.
I'm Stuart Moss's other half.
Better half. It's the better half, Deb.
Deb. Amy Foster, City of Coralville.
And who do we have on Zoom with us?
You get to
I
speak.
think that you're taking the phone. This is Casey Hutchinson with Johnson County Planning.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Casey, for correcting me. I don't
Sure.
know. I just work here. And then Jen, you're on there too, Jennifer?
I am on here. Jennifer Fensel, East Central Iowa Council of Governments.
Is there anyone else on the phone with us? Hearing no one. So let's start off with approval of the agenda. Could I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
How about a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? How about the minutes from January 19th? Can I get a motion?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from January 19th.
John and
Second half.
Stuart, second. Any discussion on those, corrections, additions? All those in favor of approving, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Awesome. Funding formula? Just,
Yeah, that's actually under Jennifer, under partner updates,
oh,
number
it's-
4.
okay.
I'm not,
So
I
we'll
think
just.
that was just a reminder for me and I forgot to move the reminder.
Gotcha. So we can just skip that and move on to practice implementation. John, can you share with us updates on those?
Absolutely. So we've got a lot going on this spring. We've got bid packages 4, 5, 6, and 7, all of which construction has begun and is moving forward. Those are in both Iowa and Johnson counties. Coralville's project is just down the way several blocks, and hopefully once the rain slows down a little bit, we'll really get in gear on that one. They've been moving pretty well on the other projects. Let's see. Let me move to this one. The last bid package came in a little bit over the engineer's cost, but we should be okay. Well, we will be okay. That's what Jennifer tells me.
We don't have any choice.
Right. We have 29 practices that are going to be installed. I think I said that already. We'll be treating an additional 3,774 acres, temporarily holding back an additional 12 acre-feet of stormwater. There will be 4 ponds, 12 grade stabilizations. Most of those are rock chutes. And for anybody that's not familiar with that, it's kind of like a rock structure that's on a tilt that conveys water from an upper level to a lower level through the rock, so it's stabilized. That's why I think of it as a slide for water through rock. Not much fun if you're a kid, but good for conservationists. 4 water and sediment control basins. Those are in farm fields. 3 wetlands and 1 grassed waterway. As far as financials, to date, we've got obligated all but $127,000, which will be taken up by change orders and engineering costs. So we'll be down to the skinny by the end of it. As far as our grant that we're starting up. That's called the Iowa Partners for Conservation. We've received, for local match, $46,208. We're waiting till July for Iowa City just because that works into their budget best. Natural Resources Conservation Services monies, a lot of S's, are reimbursed as we incur costs. Our first report has been submitted and accepted. That's a quarterly report. For the local match, we have charged $520 for salary, $26 for administration, $14 for supplies, for a total of $560, leaving us with a balance of $45,648. We've done 2 water sampling trips, one in mid-March and one in mid-April. Got the results back from mid-March. I expect the results for mid-April in the next week or so. I couldn't tell you what those are off the top of my head. Sorry about that. I didn't think to include some information on that. Ahead, we'll continue construction, water sampling, and begin, continue to phase into the Iowa Partners for Conservation grant as time allows. Any questions?
Pretty self-explanatory. Good job.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to number 4, which is partner updates. Jennifer from ECICOG.
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So John included some information in the packet that he emailed out. Sorry, I don't have a screen there to be able to show this to you, but in essence, we went over this for any of you who were at the last board or your board meeting. Using the 2020 census population numbers and recalculating the formula that you all agreed on, to come up with a budget of roughly $129,000 annually, the real change occurred in a little bit less for Coralville and a little bit less than doubling of Tiffin's contribution, and everyone else's contribution is pretty much or pretty close to the same. And so, and I don't know, like I remember presenting this last time, we had a little bit of discussion on it, but for the most part, I think everyone's kind of waiting to see how the grant that you have shakes out and continue to think on this. But if you want to ask questions or if you have any other input on this method, I'm happy to try and answer questions.
Any questions from the group?
I don't have a question, but Al had contacted me a couple of weeks ago, and he was curious as to whether this new funding formula would affect the funding that's been promised for the existing IPC grant, and the answer is no. This would be for all future funding opportunities.
My question was going to be, had Tiffin responded to the formula at all? Hearing that theirs is double.
Yeah.
In the scheme of a budget their size, it's probably a significant impact.
Yeah, and he was pleased to know that it wouldn't come into play until later, and everybody gets a chance to weigh in on that anyway.
It's good to know. Any other questions, thoughts, comments?
Yeah, I don't think we need to vote on this now. If you guys want to vote on it now, you can. If you want to wait to vote on it, there's no rush. We're funded till 2025.
So that's why you had funding formula under administrative. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
put it on the administrative for July,
Right.
and have it there so we can take action and
Okay.
do that in July. Fair? Awesome.
That sounds good. Great.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay,
Yep, you're welcome.
so moving on, announcements and events. Iowa Watershed Approach Project Tour.
Yeah, the Flood Center is putting together a project tour for the Iowa Watershed Approach closeout, and it's going to be in Vinton, June 14th, 2022. I don't have any more specifics than that. I do have 4 announcements from the Flood Center. We can do that now or in public comments.
I think this would be a good place for it.
Okay, so I'll read these. First of all is check out the newly released IWA video featuring Clear Creek landowner and IWA participant Pat Sippy. There's a link available at iowawatershedapproach.org. Secondly, the Iowa Flood Center continues to make progress on Phase 2 hydrologic assessment reports. We are working on gathering information for project engineers to model the measurable impacts at a Huck 12 scale. We expect to have results in a draft report available at the July board meeting, so that'll be exciting. Save the date for the IWA celebratory project tour on June 14th near Vinton, Iowa. HUD officials have announced senior leadership will travel to Iowa to attend. That's news. Good. 4, lastly, the Iowa Flood Center announced 2 weeks ago it is a key partner in a new $360 million center to improve the nation's ability to predict water-related hazards and better manage its water. Iowa will receive $21 million for the next 5 years as a partner in the Cooperative Institute for Research to Operations in Hydrology. Cool.
So that was
Yeah, if you haven't seen that that video, it's really informative. It's not very long.
Okay. Any other announcements? How about public comments?
She's got some.
I think I'm in announcements, but,
Oh, perfect, either one.
okay. I just want to give a little update on things with Coralville. Coralville recently received $220,000 of water infrastructure funding. This would be the federal infrastructure funding that has come down to the state for water and wastewater infrastructure. And this is to repair a fen that's located on the northwest side of town. This is the headwaters of Clear Creek. The city has purchased around 80 acres of land that is referred to as the old Colony property, Colony Farm. It is a wetland and fen complex, has some timber and prairie, and that was purchased with REAP money, state revolving fund money, and we're finishing closing on the last parcel in that location. These fens were grazed for a long time, which actually kind of helped protect them from invasive species, but there was a little overgrazing, and so there are areas in these fens that have erosion that was causing them to de-water. So gullies were taking the water and changing the hydrologic patterns within these fens. So that money will be used to fix them. So that was number 1 on our management objectives for things we wanted to do once we purchased this ground. So not a real flashy project, and the park isn't open to the public yet, but it's good. So just wanted to give that update, and then if it's okay, I was going to speak for our 3 local watershed coordinators for Coralville, Iowa City, and North Liberty, and give just like a combined update on what we've been working on together. So we finished rebranding our local stormwater cost share programs. So our stormwater cost shares pay for half the cost of infiltration-based practices, so rain gardens, porous paving, those sort of things. And we received a grant a few years ago from the DNR to work together to rebrand our programs, put out one message, advertise it, make it hip and cool, and things that we can partner with local organizations, coffee shops and breweries and things to promote our message. So we just finished that, and at the next meeting, we'd like to do like a little bit of a PowerPoint to show you guys what we come up with. And then we are also working on updating our erosion and sediment control ordinances locally. So that was kind of our winter project. Most of our erosion and sediment control ordinances were written in 2006, when the state of Iowa started enforcing those regulations within city government. So we're just kind of updating them, making sure that we're all on the same page with what we'll require. So those will go to our local councils probably in the next few months.
Awesome. Anything else tonight?
I just want to ask Amy if there is going to be a road out there by the Fen called Fen Way.
Just a bit outside.
That sounds like a good idea. I'm trying to get the road, as far as possible away from the Fen, but,
Yeah.
Maybe you could put a big green wall there too.
Oh, boy. I'm excited to get to see the Fen because I've heard about it for a long time. And I know, I have a picture in my mind of what it is, but being able to really, I'm sure it's super exciting, but
Sounds like a tour site.
There's a guy there who grazes cattle, and we just met him, and he is actually the roadside vegetation manager for Johnson County. Not manager, technician, so he works under Chris Hensey. So his whole job is about removing invasive species and planting prairie and stuff. So I don't think we could have a better cattle farmer out there to do conservation grazing. So I think we got pretty lucky with that.
And where is this located? You said no.
This is to the west of 965 or Coral Ridge Avenue,
Okay.
and south of Forever Green, in kind of like a quadrant, squished there between 80,
Right.
Interstate 8, or I'm sorry, 380.
383.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
we'll
kind
have
of-
a tour for
kind
you
of
guys.
behind
when we get
Oakdale,
Oh, behind Oakdale. Okay.
right?
Yeah, it's behind the prison.
Okay. That's where it is.
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Big landmark. If there's nothing else, our next meeting, we'll see everybody July 20th, same place, same time.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Yes.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed to adjourning? Have a great one, everyone.